after I finished fourth year, I decided I wanted to stay and I wanted to do a PhD. And
Like a
so
nutcase.
yeah, and I wanted to do specifically a PhD dental combined degree where you do your PhD first and then you go to dental school and you do all of the admissions process within the first year of what would be your master's when you start it.
Mhm.
And if you go through all of that application process and you get admitted to the program, what happens is as soon as you're done, within they give you 5 and a maximum of 6 years to complete the PhD. And then you just go right into dental school. You don't have to apply to dental school at that point because you've already been admitted. So as long as you complete your PhD portion in the first 5 to 6 years, you go straight
Mhm.
into dental school. So that was the program I went into. And so that kind of narrowed down my options in terms of what lab I wanted to go into because
Could
I had to be doing something related to dentistry, which was part of the requirement because the idea is that you're going to become a clinician scientist in the dental field.
Yeah.
Um,
Could you
so
just say like how many people are in that program just to just talk about how rare it is, how long it is? Like this was a
yeah,
crazy decision from you. Like most people
I know.
aren't willing to commit to that straight up, you know?
hmm I think there was two people in the PhD part of the program at the time,
Right.
and maybe one or two in the dental school portion at the time. And so definitely I would say 5 people or less.
Right.
And the program is basically best case scenario if you finish your PhD in 4 years, if everything's set up perfectly well for you and
Hmm.
you just hit it right off the bat, then it's 4 years in PhD, 4 years in dental school. Worst case scenario, 6 years and then 4 years. So worst case,
Right.
it's 8 to 10 year program.
Hmm.
Most realistically, 9. But the previous student in my lab, the PhD student who was finishing up was going to dental school. He was actually in that program. He was one of the people who was in that program. That's one of the reasons why I chose that lab because the supervisor was in the biochemistry department
Hmm.
and he studied mineralization, and a lot of his work was done in animal models, on the mandible and on the teeth. So um, that
Hmm.
seemed like a good fit. The projects that were before me seemed like really good opportunities, and the collaborators that they worked with were high profile and all that
Right.
stuff. So
Yeah, you did your due diligence, right?
did my due diligence and I went into that lab. Things didn't work out exactly the way I hoped they would have. But the point to answer your original question is I went into that lab. Okay, first day I get there, pop out, like take a drink of water, and there you are coming out of the door right next to me in the lab next door.
So crazy.
And I had no idea
No,
that you were down
we
there.
didn't communicate this
Um,
at all. I didn't even know who your supervisor was or that you interviewed with him.
mm-mm.
And literally on the same floor, like two labs
On the
over.
same floor, yeah, like right around the corner. So now we get to work together every single day.